1,360 pounds to 1498. First purple went to Kagan Watoon. Second purple went to Delaney Weinman. Third purple went to Dagan Dalby. Fourth purple went to Lucy Peterson. Fifth purple went to Blake Slocum. First blue went to James Barron. Second blue went to Emma Larson. Third blue went to Ruby Slocum. Fourth blue went to Emerson Palmer.
Again, thanks for coming back, everybody. This is part 2 of day 2 of our coverage of the 2024 Custer County Fair. We have restarted our timer and are just over a minute into it. Facebook has an 8-hour limit. We met that limit, and we've now restarted. I would venture to guess we're not going to be going for another 8 hours this time around. That would be a crazy end to the 4-H beef show and the FFA show. So we'll just hope that that is not the case. That would be a first for me. But here, as they loop around, we'll let you know who's out there in the show ring. This is Group 3 of bred and fed steers, 1,506 to 1,704 pounds. Quinley Weinman, McKenna Weinman, Braxton Reinierson, Remy Dexter, Kate Barron, Traven Larson, Quinn Rosentrader, and Cash Gracie. Mr. Gracie there has the heaviest weight market beef that we have seen today so far, and according to the program, that we will see today. McKenna Wyman pulled up first. Quinley Ryman pulled up second for 8th and 7th respectively in this group. Going up 6th is Traven Larson. In 6th place, I should say, in this group. In 5th is Quinn Rosentrader. In 4th, Remy Dexter. In 3rd will be Cash Gracie. And then Kate Barron will be 2nd, which means Braxton Ranierson is 1st.
I think a nice steer here to start this class with, and follows the type and kind of some of the other steers that we started many of our classes with. He's a nice complete steer. He balances up well. You can watch him travel on his feet and legs. He's good in his feet and foot structure and design. I think for me, relative to some of the other steers in here, he's just a nice shapely steer down his top, along his loin edge, and then he's one of the steers that comes out the best out of his hip in the center part of his quarter. A nice steer that the young lady has in 2nd, but just not the completeness of his design, straightness of lines is a steer that wins the class. This big steer that ends up in 3rd probably will have a heavyweight carcass, but he's the closest next steer that we have that's straight in his lines, has a tremendous amount of shape and expression of muscle to him, and he is a steer that handles pretty well. I like him just from a standpoint of a couple of these other steers that he has just more muscle shape. The young lady steer that comes up next is a nice complete steer. He's good in the muscle shape down his top, through his forearm. He is a steer that's just a little plainer as you study him up through his front end than a couple of those other steers. But he's straighter in his lines. He balances better than the next 2 steers. The young lady steer, the round-tinted steer, I just used because he had a little more body shape and dimension to him than the gentleman steer. Both steers are nice finished steers. If they went on to a carcass contest, I think they would do quite well. And then 2 lighter steers here. The young lady steer here just gives up some width and dimension all the way through to some of the other steers, just a little bare handling over his rear ribs. And the steer that we round off the class with could just have some more shape and dimension and capacity to his rib. But a nice set of steers of your heavyweight bred and fed class. Give those kids a round of applause.
Second call, Shorthorn steers, 1,066 pounds to 1,418 pounds.
So again, first in that group of bred and fed steers was Braxton Ranierson. 2nd was Kate Barron. 3rd was Cash Gracie. 4th, Remy Dexter. And then 5th, to round out the top 5, Quinn Rosentrader. That'll bring in the top placements in each of these groups. Mace Barron wearing a different, if that is Mace, wearing a different back number than is listed in the program. I would assume that it is him. Also coming in second, you saw Kagan Watoon, the first place winner out of Group 2. And then Braxton Reinierson coming in third, the first place winner out of Group 3. Coming in fourth was Brennan Barron, second place out of Group 1. And then second place out of Group 2, Delaney Weinman. They're just off to the left of your screen, and then on your screen, second place out of that last group, Kate Barron. So judge going to take a close look at everybody here. And a lot of preference going to be shown to those first three as they were first place in their groups, but we have seen it before today where first place in a group and second place in that same group are your champion and reserve champion. Very well could be the case here in Black Angus. We will see. Or excuse me, in bred and fed steers. Speaking of Black Angus, Brexton Ostran was the champion there. Reserve champion belonged to Cohen Dalrymple. After bred and fed steers, we'll have one small 4-entry group of shorthorn steers. And then we'll bring out all of the champions from the different categories and determine an overall. We'll have the champion and reserve champion rate of gain. And then the market beef division group, club group of 5 market beef. And then we will head to the FFA beef show. So as of right now, we're running about 1 hour behind, as we are approaching 4 o'clock, and the FFA beef show was on the schedule starting at 3. Let's hear from the judge.
Well, nice roan steer that comes out of the first class, a steer that is put together well, and my compliments to that breeder and exhibitor for getting him here. He's really just a steer that needs probably another 150 pounds to compete with some of these others, but he has all the right pieces to do that. The red baldy steer that comes out of the second class, little trimmer made than some of our other steers, but a steer that's pretty structure correct. He handles himself well down his top. He's put together well on the profile and has an ample amount of muscle. The black steer that comes out of the third class is, like many of our other class winners, a steer that balances well, proportionate in his kind and makeup, and you have to appreciate the overall muscle shape and dimension he has. He'll be your champion steer. You can pull them out to champion bred fed steer out of class 3. And if the young lady then brings up her second place steer as you watch him walk up here into this first place hole for contention for reserve, he's a steer that just gets a little straight up front, doesn't travel as well. I like his body shape and his dimension, the muscle he has standing still. He's a nice, complete steer. Take a nice picture at the backdrop. But on the move, I'd like to see him move a little better out of his front end. So we'll use the red steer out of the second class for your reserve bred and fed. Congratulations.
So Braxton Reinierson has the champion bred and fed steer. Kagan Watoon with the reserve bred and fed steer. Congratulations to those two. We now move on to shorthorn steers. 4 of them, just one group, will immediately determine a champion and a reserve champion coming up here shortly. You'll be seeing them coming into the show ring on your screen. And here come those shorthorn steers. Macy Smith of Middle Loop 4-H, Trip Oxford, Ansley Junior Livestock, Judd Sterner, Four Corners, and Emerson Palmer of Sand Hill Critters. Again, we'll determine a champion and a reserve champion shorthorn steer. And then we will have we'll bring back all the champions and reserve champions to determine an overall champion market beef. Personally, my favorite part of this day of the Custer County Fair. Super exciting to see all these different types of beef compete against each other, see who's the best. Should be a lot of fun. That's coming up very shortly. First shorthorn steers on your screen at the moment. Shorthorn steers coming around. Trip Oxford 4th, Macy Smith 3rd, Judd Sterner 2nd, Emerson Palmer 1st, according to the order that the judges pulled them up in.
Two nice shorthorn steers here, a little different in skeletal size, but certainly a steer that wins is more ideally finished, a little straighter line, nicer design type of individual. And then you can see from the rear view a steer that has an ample amount of muscle to him. I like the gentleman's roan steer. He's got probably just for his size a little more shape and dimension of rib to him, but that's a close decision between those steers. I'd like to just see him come a little leveler out of his hip, a little more width in his pen setting, have a little more shape right out of the top of his, loin edge and just along the top of his shoulder there, just open him up a bit more. And that's where the steer in third has that, a steer that has a tremendous amount of proportionality and muscle to him. I think a steer that has a lot of potential down the road. Just today, he's one of the lighter steers in here, and he's a little under-finished relative to that. But when you add 100, 200, 250 pounds more on that steer, you'll see a nice made, complete made steer, which has an ample amount of muscle shape down his top and out of his hip. A very nice steer for State Fair or Exarban. I think he's still a purple quality, just would like to see him have a little more carcass merit to him in this set of class. And then you have a nice steer that rounds off the class with, it's a little narrower made in his skeleton. Just like to widen him up a bit, make him more competitive.
Okay, so that would mean your champion shorthorn is Emerson Palmer, and reserve shorthorn belongs to Judd Sterner. So again, now we'll have all of the champions of the different divisions compete against each other, and I believe the champion and reserve champion from each group is going to be coming in here. So this is going to get very, very crowded in here very, very fast. And I'll try to flip pages around and let you know what's going on. Again, this is the big time coming up here right now. Overall champion market beef and overall reserve champion market beef. Let's use this opportunity to go ahead and talk about what you're going to be seeing come into the show ring here. Back to this morning, we go for our champion market heifer, Charlie Tobias. Talon Tobias was a reserve champion. Kagan Watoon, a champion Hereford steer. Reserve Hereford steer belonged to Mahia Jones. Bryce Chaplin, champion Red Angus steer. Traven Larson, the reserve. Callie Nelson, the champion Simmental steer. Brexton Ostran, the reserve. Talon Tobias with the champion Charlet steer. Creighton Cook, the reserve Charlet steer. Okay, they're going to introduce them. I'll just let them do that in the ring.
Age Club. The calf's name is Stella and weighs 1,258 pounds. The champion Hereford steer is shown by Kagan Watoon of the South Loop 4-H Club. The calf's name is Travis and weighs 1,584 pounds. Reserve champion Hereford steer is shown by Mahia Jones.
Okay, they're a little out of order here. Here comes Mahia. There for a second, I thought they were just going to keep cruising on, but this works great.
Mahia Jones of the Ansley Junior Livestock 4-H Club. The calf's name is Stud and weighs 1,312 pounds. Champion Red Angus steer is shown by Bryce Chaplin of the Sandhills Critter 4-H Club. The calf's name is Champ and weighs 1,612 pounds. Reserve champion Red Angus steer is shown by Traven Larson of the Sandhills Critter 4-H Club. The calf's name is Buddy and weighs 1,388 pounds. Champion Sentimental steer is shown by Callie Nelson of the Sandhills Critter 4-H Club. The calf's name is Elvis and weighs 1,346 pounds. The reserve champion Sentimental steer is shown by Brexton Ostrand of the Ansley Junior Livestock 4-H Club. The calf's name is Bart and weighs 1,328 pounds. The champion Charlet steer is shown by Talon Tobias of the Middle Loop 4-H Club. The calf's name is Coolio and weighs 1,306 pounds. The reserve champion Charlet steer is shown by Creighton Cook of the Ansley Junior Livestock 4-H Club. The calf's name is Vanilla Ice and weighs 1,434 pounds. Champion Crossbred steer is shown by Casey Nelson of the Sandhills Critters 4-H Club. The calf's name is Pudge and weighs 1,326 pounds. The reserve champion Crossbred steer is shown by Abby Stahlbaumer of the O'Connell 4-H Club. The calf's name is Merle and weighs 1,422 pounds. The champion Black Angus steer is shown by Brexton Ostrand of the Ansley Junior Livestock 4-H Club. The calf's name is Dawson and weighs 1,430 pounds. The reserve champion Black Angus steer is shown by Cohen Dalrymple of the South Loop 4-H Club. The calf's name is Sirloin and weighs 1,398 pounds. The champion bred and fed steer is shown by Braxton Rainierson of the Sandhills Critters 4-H Club. The calf's name is Kevin and weighs 1,536 pounds. The reserve champion bred and fed steer is shown by Kagan Watoon of the South Loop 4-H Club. The calf's name is Taylor and weighs 1,392 pounds. The champion shorthorn steer is shown by Emerson Palmer of the Sandhills Critter 4-H Club. The calf's name is Ginger and weighs 1,418 pounds. The reserve champion shorthorn steer is shown by Judd Sterner of the Four Corners 4-H Club. The calf's name is Fireball and weighs 1,000 324 pounds.
Okay, so down here on the south end of the arena, they've got all of the champions set up, and then up top, they've got all of the reserve champions set up. So I'd venture to guess that the judge is going to take a close look at all of these
As the judge looks through,
to make his determination. Judge has gone through and looked at all of the champions. Now is going up to the reserve champion side at the top of your screen. I don't want to go too high or all you're going to see is sunlight. We'll try to push our limit here. Not bad. Okay, so he's got the champions going in a circle now, taking another look at them.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to come and evaluate your youth and the opportunity to lend my opinion on your cattle, and that's just what it is. There's tough decisions to be made, and as you go back home, you will discuss with your kids some of those decisions, and hopefully in a manner that it gets you to where you want to be, and why we have these differences of opinion. But really a nice set of cattle all the way through, and I commend you as exhibitors, you as families, you as a whole support group that show up to support one of the bigger county fairs yet in the state, and you do that year in and year out. So my congratulations to you for upholding not only the tradition, but as I told the gentleman over the radio, it really is here to develop youth and to bring them back into our rural communities, and what a better place to bring them back than into Custer County. I want to thank the Fair Board for bringing me out. Certainly give the all the staff, the ring help, and the announcer staff, the people in the back that line. We couldn't do it without them, so thank you. I don't want to talk about each one of these steers, but I want to just exemplify that there is some steers out here that really did a couple things. They did it not only as show steers in the ring, but they also did it as probably steers that if you were to send them onto the rail, you would be pleased with how they did. And some of them, I realize, have opportunities to go on to the state fair and probably will do well there, and I wish those exhibitors the best of luck. And then those that are in this 1,500-pound range, that this is it, and that's what you fed them for. They will go on the sale, and people will purchase them, and they'll end up in freezers, and that's really what the beef industry is about, and bringing kids back into this industry. And I hope that each of you support that, and in another 10, 15, 20 years, we just have as many exhibitors as you do here now, and it takes a lot of work from everybody. I'll just make a couple comments. I really like the market heifer. I think she's an exceptional heifer out here, just in her body type and kind. You have to like the stoutness of this Hereford. A Red Angus is an exceptional steer from a standpoint of growth and performance, and as you get him out here, you have to like the Sentimental steer a lot. He's a nicely balanced steer that the exhibitor's done a great job with him. He may be not as stout as some of the other steers out here, but has a tremendous ring presence. The Charlet steer is one that has a lot of width too, and for some people that like him just based on how stout and wide he is, he would have a lot of friends and would be in contention. For me, I'd like to just elevate him a little up in his shoulder and just clean him up a little, but certainly a stout-made individual. The completeness of design of the crossbred steer is one that you have to appreciate a lot, and we talked about that tough crossbred division and the decisions that had to be made there, but a really fault-free steer. Tremendous Angus steer that you have here, and a steer that it'd be neat if he goes on, see him on the rail, how much ribeye area he cuts, and the bred and fed the same manner, just a really good, sound, functional steer. And our shorthorn steer, even though there wasn't many shorthorn steers, a nice representative of the shorthorn breed, and a steer that has some muscle shape and dimension to him. So give all these kids a round of applause. It's been a pleasure. We'll select your champion.
All right, here we go. Your champion, I just want to make sure that I announce this correctly. Was Casey Nelson.
I think there's a few different ways you could go then after this. The Baldy that comes up in contention for reserve, another stout-made steer, and as you get him out here, you have to like that completeness, the design, his balance, his profile. For me, I think it was also a close decision, just some minor differences. I'll stick with a reserve cross for your reserve overall in this show. Congratulations.
And reserve overall came out of the same group, the crossbred steers, Abby Stahlbomber. Reserve overall champion.
Overall champion market beef animal is owned by Casey Nelson. Overall reserve market beef animal goes to Abby Stahlbomber. As our exhibitors leave the arena today, please give them another round of applause. Yep. At this time, too, Troy will be announcing champion and reserve champion rate of gain.
Okay, so as you heard there, we'll hear that, and then that'll cruise us right into the 4-H beef show. So we'll just keep all eyes on Troy here.
So if we have anybody here from Team Physical Therapy that would like to award this banner, you can meet me in the middle of the ring, or somebody from Arcadia Bank. So we had a great market show this afternoon, and appreciate it very much. Thanks to Dr. Kelly Bruns for judging our show. Let's give Dr. Bruns a hand for judging our show today. So thank you very much, Kelly. Appreciate you judging all these animals and working with our youth and giving them tips and talking about each animal is what you were seeing. And as, of course, as part of any market show, we have to think about how these cattle gain. And as we do that, we think of rate of gain, how many pounds a day they put on once these kids really start feeding them. So these cattle were on feed 176 days. Our market beef weigh-in was February 3rd, which was the first Saturday in February. And if you remember, I was out in it all day. It was 40 degrees and it rained all day. So that's what our February 3rd was like. Then we weighed them again on July 28th, so just Sunday of last week here. And so that is how we come up with our rate of gain. And you could kind of see some of that in the program. And as I award our reserve champion here, you can look at that and you can see that Parker Miller has our reserve champion rate of gain with 4.8 pounds per day on those 176 days. So great job, Parker. Wonderful. You can show the banner to the crowd and let your mom get a picture. So that was our second place with Parker Miller. First place is Ashton Bimmerwald, and his steer gained 4.81 pounds. When we initially weighed in, it weighed 738 pounds, and when we weighed in on Sunday, it was 1,584 pounds. So congratulations on that rate of gain of 4.81. All right, thank you. So next we're going to have our club group of 5 market beef.
Can we have each one of the 4-H clubs bring up their club group of 5 market beef, please? At this time, please bring up your club group of 5 market beef.
Okay, so club group of 5 market beef coming your direction right now. We'll kind of let everything settle in and get set. Sometimes takes a little bit to coordinate this, so I'll just go ahead and turn my mic off and we'll let this all settle in, and then we'll give you a little bit of a recap and everything. Results are scrolling at the bottom of your screen if you want to check those out as well.
Sandhills Critters, can we have your club group of 5? All members of your club group of 5. Custer County Farm Bureau Federation Arena, please. Sandhills Critters.
Answers all of their questions for them.
Five groups competing in the club group of 5 market beef. Quick math, 25. Beef going to be in the show arena. You see them coming on your screen right there. Ansley Junior Livestock, Four Corners, Middle Loop 4-H, Sand Hill Critters, South Loop 4-H all competing here. Again, at this exact moment, we're running about an hour and 40 minutes behind. FFA beef is going to be next, so they are preparing to go out there. I don't see any FFA shirts. Many kids that are in 4-H are also in FFA. Don't see anybody in the prep area getting ready for that at the moment, so there might be a break actually before that takes place. First couple of groups in there on your screen. Looks like we'll just have 4 of the 5 groups put together an entry here. Thank you to Purple Ribbon sponsor Custer Public Power District, keeping your lights shining bright. Nebraska is still the only state in the U.S. that is served 100% by public power. Custer Public Power, proudly serving the Custer County community, locally owned and governed by you. Thank you as well to Sargent Irrigation with 9 locations in Nebraska and Iowa. They're proud to serve your well drilling and pumping needs. Find them online or on Facebook. They're proud of all the participants who work so hard towards fair. And thank you as well to A1 Auto Repair, In Arnold, the trusted name in auto repair and maintenance services for families across our area. They offer a wide variety of services that your vehicle needs to thrive. Find them on Facebook or stop in to visit with them. Judge is getting the microphone. We'll hear what he has to say.
Well, I compliment all these clubs for putting them together and getting them in a nice shape. It's very close because you have a lot of class winners in these groups. You have also some champions, some reserve champions, and then you have some groups that just have some consistent cattle in. So this gets a little close. I think the group here on this far end has several of the breed champions in it, your champion steer, and nice group from a standpoint of their consistency. This will be your champion group here, so congratulations to them. Then I think it gets a little closer out after that relative to some steers that were reserving divisions that you maybe like to see some things different about them, but I'm going to stay with this group that's off to my right here. They'll be your reserves, so congratulations there. And this group of blacks will be your third group. I think an excellent group of cattle, maybe not as many breed champions, but a couple reserves and some steers that I remember did quite well, and just a really consistent group that you put together. So congratulations. This will be your third purple, and then your fourth purple here with a group that has your champion, reserve champion heifer in it. Also some steers that did quite well. So a nice set of groups. Give these kids a round of applause for putting them together and representing their clubs.
So I believe it's going to be Sandhill Critters as champions, and Ansley Junior Livestock. Let's see. Yeah, Ansley Junior Livestock as reserve.
Champion Club Group of 5 Market Beef went to Sandhills Critters. Reserve Champion Club Group of 5 Market Beef went to Ansley Junior Livestock.
Okay, so congratulations to all of those groups of 5. Sandhill Critters, Champion Club Group of 5 Market Beef, Reserve Champion Club Group of 5 Market Beef, Ansley Junior Livestock. That closes out the 4-H Beef Show for 2024. Results scrolling across the bottom of your screen. FFA is going to be headed your direction next.
The FFA has asked that we announce the FFA Beef Show will start at 5:05 today.
Okay, so that's about 20 minutes from now, so we will bring that to you when it is up and going. We'll start a little bit earlier than that to get you all settled in for the show, but right now we'll break away and come back with the FFA Beef Show. All right, here we go. FFA showmanship. Nine listed on the sheet. One was a scratch. 8 listed on the sheet, but only 6 coming into the show ring. And as I always say with FFA, no back numbers. So if I happen to know who somebody is, I will let you know. Otherwise, we have to wait for the announcements afterwards. So here we go. A1 Auto Repair in Arnold is the trusted name in auto repair and maintenance services for families across our area. They offer a wide variety of services that your vehicle needs to thrive. Find them on Facebook or stop in to visit with them at A1 Auto Repair, one of our Purple Ribbon sponsors for Custer County Fair 2024 coverage. Thank you as well to Healing Hearts and Families, where they work to educate the public by implementing a variety of outreach activities and public education programs to increase awareness of domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, and bullying. Keep listening for information about how to donate to and attend their upcoming gala this fall, which is quickly approaching. Especially after these last couple of summer events that we've got going on, Custer County Fair, St. Hills Open Road Challenge, certainly will be here quickly. You see the order that they're set up in.
Well, thanks for everybody for staying around here for the FFA show. A nice set of exhibitors here that some of them have showed in 4-H, some of them are new. But the three exhibitors here do an excellent job. And what sorted the two young ladies up here to the top is just how they answered some of their questions. And the two young ladies with the heifers just do a really exceptional job. I think the young lady with the Hereford heifer just has a little better luck in that heifer cooperating a little more often than not in getting her set up. And she gets her moved around the ring quite well and has her head set up, feet placement well. The young lady with the black and white heifer also does an exceptional job. It's just at times that heifer doesn't want to maybe set up quite as well. But you both do an excellent job. My congratulations to you, and they'll be your champion reserve showman. The young lady that with this steer in third also does an excellent job. Maybe would like to just answer the questions just a notch better, but you do a good job all day today getting the calf set up and your ring presence and knowing what to do, so I appreciate that a lot. The next two exhibitors are pretty close, and as I evaluate them, the young lady with the big steer is to show, but she gets in place where she needs to and in line, and the same with the young lady with the black steer, does a good job of getting them set. The two exhibitors with the Hereford steer and the red steer, I commend you for the work you've done with those calves. They handle well, they stand well in line. Just maybe want to keep their head up a little more and watch their feet placement to move up a little higher in the class. But give these exhibitors a round of applause.
Thank you.
Again, waiting for the announcement. No back numbers in FFA. So, waiting to hear the official announcement as far as who received what. Do know that Macy Smith was your reserve champion. Just want to make sure we get everything else correct.
Okay, this is Kaylee Cooks, class number 1, market B. The grand champion showman was Mesa Jones, reserve champion Macy Smith, and purples went to Haley Myers, Allie Smith, and Riley Barons. Blues went to Bindi Peters and Brinley Chaplin.
Okay, so as you heard there, champion showman Mesa Jones, reserve champion Macy Smith. Single entry here in Class 1, weighing 1,120 pounds for Kaylee Cook. He's giving her a little bit of a hard time.
Yeah, we'll start a market show now, and this is a lone entry in the lightweight class. The steer weighs 1140, and a nice steer that the exhibitor has out here. Just a very complete, nice pattern steer, and it'll be nice to get him out here with some of the other classes. I mean, he is a steer that's relatively hard to fault. He just would probably like to see him have a little more weight and mass to him.
Four entries in this next group: Hallie Rosiski, Bindi Peters, Brindley Chaplin, and Allie Smith. Looking out there right now, Hallie Rosiski, Bindi Peters, Brindley Chaplin, and Allie Smith. All competing in Class 2 of market beef, ranging from 1,256 to 1,288 pounds. Thank you to Nebraska State Bank, proud to be your local bank serving the area since 1918 with 4 convenient locations in Callaway, Myrna, and Broken Bow. They have your financial service needs covered. Stop by any location today to get set up with free checking for your personal or business needs. Thank you as well to C&M Auto in Anselmo. From routine auto maintenance to major repairs of gas and diesel vehicles, C&M Auto has you covered, and they have the latest diagnostics to diagnose the problem. They have competitive rates and offer 24-hour service outside their business hours to serve you best.
In this class is Haley Rosiski, Bindi Peters, Brindley Chaplin, and Allie Smith. In the first class, Kaylee Cook received purple.
In the upper 1200s, and if you look at both these individuals, they're very, very similar in their muscle shape and design. As the young lady takes this steer out, he probably just travels just a notch better from hock to ground. He also is, when you handle him, just a little smoother in his degree of finish along his top and through his forerib. Just a nice moving, really complete fault-free individual. I really like this steer in second because he's just a heavy structured steer. He probably has more bone, he has a little more skeletal mass to him, but with that he comes just a steer that maybe doesn't set down as well on his rear leg and in his pasturing, and he's a steer, as I handle him, is just not as soft in his condition and as smooth a finish as a steer that started. But those are 2 very good steers. It's very good to play, very close to place those 2. Likewise, the Hereford and the red steer are close as well. I think the Hereford steer, even though he doesn't have as much body and rib to him, he is a smoother handling steer than the red steer. He also handles his top just a little better on the move, where the red steer gets a little high in his loin. I like the red steer for his extra added body and capacity. Just need to give him a little more straightness down his top, clean him up a little bit up through his front end.
Next class up is Riley Barron, Macy Smith, and Haley Rosiski. The last class, Allie Smith was first purple. Haley Rosiski was second purple. And Bindi Peters and Brindley Chaplin as blue.
Okay, so far we have Kaylee Cook with a purple out of Class 1. Class 2, as you just heard there, Allie Smith and Haley Rosiski with purples themselves. And now on your screen, Riley Barron, Macy Smith, and Haley Rosiski, all competing here in Class 3 of 4, our last class that has more than one entry.
heifer behind. I think a really close pair like the last class between these two market animals, the steer and the heifer, and both of them are very exceptional and could stand a lot of competition within their own steer or heifer division. But I think the steer just has a notch more muscle shape to him along his loin edge, out of his hip, and particularly through the center and lower part of his quarter, and he travels just a notch wider than the heifer. The heifer is an exceptional individual, and you see when the exhibitor gets her set up, she's very clean and well balanced. I like her rib shape and design. She is a heifer I think that'll be very competitive if she goes on to the state fair as well. She's just a little softer in her handle than the steer and just gives up a little center quarter muscle and just a little width. But those are two exceptional animals. And the young lady steer that rounds off the class, also another very good steer, just not as wide or bold as in his rib shape and dimension, be run with those two exceptional market animals that we had in this class.
Okay, we got one class left, Haley Meyer. We have one class 4, Haley Meyer, with a market beef. Last class, Haley Rosicki was first purple. Macy Smith was second purple, and Riley Barron was purple.
Again, just Hallie Meyer in this single entry class. This is the last class before we determine a champion market steer and reserve champion market steer. And then the only item left after that is breeding heifers, and it is just one class with one entry, Mesa Jones. So that's kind of the rundown for you.
A nice heavyweight steer for this exhibitor, and he's done very well for her. I think in the, would you say he weighed 6? Yeah, 17, 18, so a high-performing steer, and carries his weight very well. He's good on his feet and legs, a nice-footed steer. And then for 17, 18, he has the ample amount of frame to carry the condition he has. So compliments to this exhibitor. We'll bring him out in the championship lineup here shortly, but she'll get a purple ribbon on her entry.
Okay, now if we can get all the class winners, Kaylee Cook's animal, Allie Smith, Haley Rosicki, and Haley Myers to come back into the ring for the champion market steer. And then on the south rail, we'll have Haley Rosicki's number 5571, and the second and the third class, Macy Smith, come into the ring.
Well, my compliments to the exhibitors, the advisors, and the families that bring out these animals. So you have a very nice set of cattle out here, and why you only have a few numbers. Your quality in this show is really should be commended on. You have a couple very, very good steers, and you have a nice market heifer that, if she goes on to the state fair, I would think would be very competitive. So the lightweight steer we'd just like to see have a little more mass to him. The steer that comes out of the second class, a nice handling steer. He balances well from the straightness of his lines. He could have probably just a little more body and rib shape to him, compared him to the steer that he beat, and then compared him to the animals that come here in the third class. The young lady's steer that wins his third class is really a fresh handling steer. He handles himself well. He's good on the move. He has a nice balance to him. He probably is just a little underneath himself there right now, but once she gets him set up, he just has a tremendous amount of muscle shape down his top and out of his hip, and does that in a nice, clean pattern and design. And then the heavyweight steer is one that you appreciate for his growth, his doability, and the gainability that he had. Not maybe as neat or clean in his pattern as some of the other calves that we've out here, but you certainly appreciate his performance. I'm going to stick with the heavyweight class winner, so he'll be your champion. Congratulations. And I think in a very, very close decision in that class is the market heifer, and she'll be your reserve. So congratulations to you. Yes.
The grand champion. The grand champion market steer was shown by Haley Waziski. Reserve champion market steer was Macy Smith. Next class will be breeding.
Again, one entry here.
That's Mesa Jones.
Mesa Jones from Nebraska Ag Academy chapter. Only entry, born March 29th, 2023. In the class of 1 to 2 years.
Heifer, and she is a very nice heifer, very complete. As you watch her walk here, she's very good in her structure and design. She's good about her joints. She is a heifer that has a cow look to her. She's feminine about her head and through her neck and shoulder, and you have to appreciate the extra body and rib shape she has to her. She's a very fault-free individual that you have to certainly appreciate. I like her from a March heifer, that she's moderate in her size and good in her udder. I think she'll make a really nice cow for this exhibitor. So she could stand quite a bit more competition. She's your only entry, and she'll be your champion breeding heifer and a good representative of that. So congratulations.
All right, so Mesa Jones is the champion exhibitor in breeding heifers. And again, that wraps up our day here today. Join us again tomorrow. 8 a.m. is the start. Lots coming your direction. Clover Kids Bucket Calf Parade, Goats, Dairy, all happening tomorrow. We'd love to have you here. Before we close, want to thank our Purple Ribbon sponsors again, Trotter Service and Trotter Fertilizer, Grocery Cart, the Custer County Ag Society, C&M Auto in Anselmo, Nebraska State Bank, Healing Hearts and Families, A1 Auto Repair, Sargent Irrigation, Custer Public Power District, Lashley Land and Recreational Brokers, Moline Seed and Fence, and Pioneer Seed. That closes out day number 2 of video streaming here on Sand Hills Express Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you tomorrow.